God damn it. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Speakeasy.
I'm Zach.
I'm Jake.
We are the Dirt Road Men.
I'm
sorry, I was like raging in my head there for a second. And took me a minute to remember that was my line.
And this is Seth.
Oh yeah, Def Seth, our camera guy's here. Come say hello.
I'm going to shoot my face like Ghostwire.
Yes. Don't you want to be a Ghost Rider?
I sure as fuck don't.
Alright, come on. Let's do our thing. Alright, so this is our talk video. We're going to start trying to do these more. One, because you motherfuckers viewed that video last week like 4 times as much as the other 2 put together.
Thank you.
Cool, thanks. Also, I got some advice from the Hodge twins. Went and saw them. I guess their logo's here, but this is kind of an American logo.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's like,
they called this their anti-Kaepernick shirt.
that's fucking great.
Kaepernick went with Nike and his sports brand and started being like, yeah, fuck the USA. And they were like, you know what? No. We've got a sports brand. We got famous from doing lifting and shit, and we're going to be like, fuck yeah, the USA. They're hilarious dudes who have... Some guy came to see their stand-up that apparently had not watched a lot of their videos and got freaked the fuck out. He's like, this is so off color. Because one of them was talking about this time that he was banging a girl, and he grabs the stool and he's pantomiming banging this girl with the microphone down on top of the stool like it's his dick. But then he'd bring it up to talk, too, at the same time, which was kind of weird. And then he's like, she said she saw some guy peeking at us through the door. I just looked over and was like, oh, don't worry, baby. That's just my brother. He just likes to watch. He keeps going. And then the other Hodge twins over there, like, jacking the microphone. Slowly works his way over, and he's like, open your mouth, bitch. And, like, acts like he shoves the microphone in there. And they're doing this back and forth for a minute, and they're just both like, oh, yeah. Which is kind of their thing if you watch their videos. And finally the one's like, oh, move, motherfucker, move! And he pulls back and then acts like he blasted all over his brother, and his brother's just like, oh, what the fuck? And then he starts being like, I told you to move! Meanwhile, this dude next to me, who obviously had no fucking clue what he was walking into, was just like looking at the table like, what the fuck is wrong with these two? And then the one looks at the other brother and he's like, I told you to move, motherfucker! And that's why we can't run for office. Then the other one felt the need to walk up and clarify that that was just a joke they did on the fly. That didn't actually happen. And Seth is fucking terrified right now. His face.
I can see a clear picture.
Yep. Good.
It's done at the fucked up.
It was pretty fucked up. This dude didn't know what he was coming into, because they talked about Christianity, they talked about politics, and then they went into this shit. And the one was talking about how his brother said that he worked with some hot girl. And he just didn't have the guts to ask her out. And finally, she saw the other one in public and went up and was like, I think it was Keith that didn't have the guts to ask her out. And it was Kevin that she saw in public. Maybe I'm flipping that around. She walks up and she's like, hey, Keith, how you doing? And he's like, yeah, I'm Keith. And then he gets done telling the whole conversation, then he leans back and he's like, and that's how I met my wife, everybody.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
And that was legit, too, apparently.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, let's get into our talk video for the week, where we recap kind of the news of the week, mostly political news, but we got some other stuff in there, too. We'll go kind of in order that they happen, so you're up first.
Okay. So the Virginia Second Amendment rally happened this last Monday.
Yep.
Maybe the 20th?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, the governor was threatening a whole bunch of infringements on the Second Amendment rights of the Virginia people. And following up to the rally, right after he said that, like 98% of the counties declared themselves sanctuary counties. They had sheriffs just not willing to follow what he was saying, And some even were willing to deputize people who were otherwise legally allowed to own firearms. And so then they got to the night before, or a couple of days before.
It was the Thursday before that he declared the state of emergency, if that's what you're working on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they created like a big fence around the courthouse where you couldn't carry inside there. But the other 100,000 or so people outside were definitely armed.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard anything from like 20k people to like 150k people. I'm telling you right now, it looked like a lot more than 20k people.
Oh, yeah.
If you've ever been to Rockfest, that's 50,000 people. It looked like at least that many. That's just enough to fill up the lawn of the Liberty Memorial. This was roads were shut down. The whole area of the town was blocked. And they brought a fucking guillotine.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
They actually brought a fucking guillotine.
Full-fledged guillotine. You keep recapping, I'll see if I can pull it up.
So we have anywhere from 28 to 150,000 people. Probably a good 90% of which were armed, and nothing happened. Like there were no major incidences that went down.
And Antifa was there. It's almost like when everyone's carrying a gun, people don't act fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's pretty much right in the head there. A well-armed society is a fucking polite one.
Yeah. That it?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I couldn't
So
find...
what did you think about it personally?
Which part?
Just how the whole thing went off. Because last week we were talking about it, and we were really concerned.
Uh-huh.
Like, the number one reason we weren't there is we were like, I can stop like 2 bullets maybe.
Yeah.
I ain't got any bulletproof vests.
I think it's awesome that it went down the way it did and nobody got hurt. And I didn't hear of any arrests even. So it's great that everything was peaceful. I think it's amazing that many people showed up to say "fuck you" to
all
Ralph.
over the U.S. Ralph Northam?
Northam. Yes.
Mr. Blackface, abort the babies after they're born guy.
Yeah.
Actually, we don't know if he was in blackface. He was in a photo, and he was either in blackface or a KKK outfit. He hasn't claimed which one, because it's a lose-lose for him.
Maybe both. Fucking Chappelle Show.
Yeah. Look at that. They brought a straight-up guillotine that looks like it could have beheaded a couple of fucking people at the same time.
Oh my god, that is amazing. Ah, damn, I love my country.
You know what's funny?
Huh.
Technically, that was not a banned item. They could roll that into the fucking fence. Yeah, that was excellent. I am so happy that it didn't go the way we were afraid it was going to go, because everything about this, the way the media spun it, the way the governor spun it, and the way the groups against it were spinning it. One, they were trying to spin it like it was somehow a white supremacist rally. There were Asians, black people, all kinds of people there. Mexicans, sorry, I don't mean to leave you guys out. But maybe it's a little far north for you, I don't know. Anyway.
Could have just hopped the fence anyway.
Fuck! We should have brought more! Just a bunch of armed Mexicans run up. Fuck your fence!
Just start throwing fucking Corona and tacos.
Jesus Christ! Alright. See, I was looking at like ripping this into a podcast and stuff. Why do that when we're gonna get kicked off everything anyway?
I'd have jumped over for a Corona and a taco too, so...
Oh, you're talking about like baiting those motherfuckers in there. No, they're pro-gunning too.
Uh-huh.
Just send them in. They can jump the fence. They don't give a fuck. I sure as fuck ain't doing it. Anyway. So that kind of wraps up that. I was definitely happy with how it turned out. And that it shattered all the narratives that they tried to spin about it. And that it proved the point that they could have easily overthrown everything the government had put in place But they chose not to.
Yeah,
They just wanted to let them know that they could.
I think if one or two of the kind of bigger pro Second Amendment advocates there would have just said, you know what, fuck it, storm it. It would have been over.
Right, but everybody's still trying to act restrained because they're like, it's not time yet, but we want to remind you that we can do this.
Yeah.
So, second thing we have up this week is Conor McGregor, who won his fight last weekend against Cowboy. I don't remember Cowboy's legit name, but he won it quick.
Like 45 seconds.
Yeah. Which is good, because Conor is kind of known for, if you watch any of his Diaz fights.
He doesn't do well in the higher rounds.
Yeah, he gasses out, is how Joe Rogan put it. He comes at it all at once as hard as he can, and he just runs out of gas. So Conor McGregor's a guy that mostly you have to outlast and not let him submit you. He's a striker mostly anyway, so just manage to take the hits. It's the number one thing you've got to do. Be Homer Simpson and just stay standing no matter how many times you get hit in the head. Anyway, Donald Trump put out a tweet. I believe it was in support of the gun rally. It might have been saying congratulations to Conor McGregor. I don't know. But Conor McGregor replied to the tweet and talked about what an excellent president Donald Trump was and how much good he's done for America, which I liked especially because just a couple of years ago, in 2016, before Trump actually won the presidency, he was basically like, I'll fucking knock Donald Trump the fuck out. And yet Trump wins, and here's the tweet. It says, phenomenal president, quite possibly the USA GOAT, greatest of all time. Certainly one of them anyway, as he sits atop the shoulders of many amazing giants that came before him. No easy feat. It's early stages of his term also, which is pretty incredible. Happy birthday, Martin Luther King Jr., or happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day, America. Yeah, so he said, it was Trump tweeting about Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and then talked about how African-American unemployment is the lowest that it's been in the history of it being documented in our country. So, that is pretty cool. And McGregor said that, which is a big change of heart for him. And it's also cool to see, I mean, look, I do say that celebrities' opinions don't matter that much, and really, in the grand scheme of things, they don't. However, they are public figures, and we hear so many people railing against Trump that I do think it's nice to see people, especially people you don't expect, like a European, come out and, as in actually from Europe, come out and actually speak out in support of our president. So I thought that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I don't take anything that most celebrities say worth a shit.
Yeah.
But they are fairly influential.
Mm-hmm. And some people do take what they say very seriously. You know, I've heard plenty of people that really don't bother to, like, politically educate themselves, quoting stuff that, like, celebrities or other public figures have said about these people. And yeah, if you listen to most of Hollywood or, you know, CNN, even Fox sometimes, you would probably think some pretty rough things about the president. And while he has done some stupid shit on occasion.
Who has it?
Yeah, no shit, right? By and large, I think he's done pretty well. So I thought it was cool to see Conor McGregor say that. There were plenty of people that were like, yeah, one too many punches to the head. But, which, yeah, I'm not sitting here saying Conor McGregor is like a nexus of intelligence or something. I might have misused that word. But he's not like the pinnacle of intelligence. There you go. But it was kind of cool to see him come out. I've always kind of thought Conor McGregor was a badass. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I thought his attitude was a little bit much, but he's Irish, so it's kind of what I expect from him. His fuck you pinstripe suit really got me. Thought that was excellent. And the fact that he beat up an entire fucking bus full of other UFC fighters was pretty fucking sick also.
Yeah.
Granted, he picked up like a dolly or something and beat the shit out of him with that, but still, pretty cool.
Yeah. You would have thought one of them would have, grabbed it while the other guys beat the shit out of him, but...
Well, the thing you got to think about with the bus, though, is he's got like a fatal funnel going on.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they can come up over seats, but you don't know what all's in the bus either. It probably wasn't a legit bus.
Yeah.
It was probably, a travel bus with like seats and tables and shit.
Gotcha.
So,
fair enough.
but yeah, thought that was pretty cool. Next thing on the docket was another one I was talking about, which was Puerto Rico supplies. So did you hear anything about this?
I did not.
So, Puerto Rico, you may remember, had that hurricane a while back, and a bunch of people were bitching at Trump for not handling it very well, and he was like, I sent them aid, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and this one lady's like, yeah, we're not getting enough aid, and if you watch that press conference, she is legit saying that in front of unopened pallets of fucking water behind her. Granted, maybe they didn't need some water. They did just get a shitload of it. But
I was thinking it.
I know. We know it's a joke.
Lighten up.
Well, somebody's going to be like, it's not the right kind of fucking water. Thank you. You dumb son of a bitch. We know.
Fucking distill it.
Yeah. Can you boil it? Cool. Catch the steam in something else metal that slopes downward. Keep doing that until there's nothing but salt left in this pan and water in this one. Anyway, so that was the whole thing, right? Well, they also had some earthquakes again recently because Puerto Rico just gets a shit sandwich because it's in a rough location. It's right by Haiti. I'm sure y'all have heard plenty of horrible shit about Haiti. Which is right there, attached on the same island to the fucking Dominican Republic. What? Okay, I'm working to a point here. So the earthquakes happened. During the earthquakes, people are wandering around just looking for shit to like feed themselves and everything, right? And they find a warehouse like 3 or 4 times the size of D's, full of unopened supplies that were sent by the government during the fucking hurricane.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Some of it's not even usable anymore.
But they weren't getting enough then.
They weren't getting enough then, even though they had like whole fucking warehouses full of the shit that never got distributed.
Wow.
Never got distributed. Yet, apparently, they didn't have enough. Sounds like mismanagement.
Yeah, or trying to make one person look bad for political gains on yourself.
Yeah, kind of sounds like that, really. But you'll still see people for years to come talking about how bad Trump did in fucking Puerto Rico, just like they talk about how bad Bush did in Katrina, which granted was considerably worse, but Katrina was a shit show. Probably the worst hurricane result we've seen in our entire lives. Probably because some dipshits built the city below sea level in hurricane country, but luckily they filled it with Democrats, so it wasn't the worst idea ever. So...
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that was Tuesday. That shit happened. I literally tried to write down like one thing per day.
Oh, okay.
Just something we could talk about to recap the week. So you're up next
Okay.
with the fun one.
I didn't know which day this happened. I'm guessing Wednesday or Thursday.
Oh, Puerto Rico was Wednesday, actually. Tulsi was
Okay.
Thursday.
So, Tulsi Gabbard announced that she is suing Hillary Clinton for like $50 million for slandering her in an interview with David Plouffe's podcast. Clinton claimed Gabbard was a favorite of the Russians. They have a bunch of sites and bots and other ways of supporting her so far, and then some other stuff about somebody else. But
It's almost like every time somebody does well, Hillary Clinton defaults to Russia.
yeah. And Gabbard says
In a tweet.
she's slandering her
Oh, okay.
because in the 2016 presidential election, Gabbard supported Bernie for the Democratic nomination over Clinton.
Yeah. So, let's be clear here. If you don't know who Tulsi Gabbard is, she was trying to run for president. If you watched anything about the debates, you probably heard she fucking nuked Kamala Harris's chance. And she was the biggest anti-war Democrat, which is surprising because you would think they all would be. Other than that, though, a lot of people on the right were like, oh, she's the most electable candidate. Yeah, she's still kind of a Bernie bro. Anyway, that's kind of who she is. But this is still cool as shit.
So, with her announcement of suing Hillary Clinton, she also put in there she has no intention of ever committing suicide.
Yeah, she's like, I'm perfectly healthy and I have no intentions of killing myself at all. And she tweeted that out, just so that everybody would know.
And that is just fucking amazing.
Yeah. Whether you buy the whole Clinton thing or not even just her suiciding random people, but let's look at Jeffrey Epstein for a moment. Anyway. Even if you don't buy a single fucking word of it, her doing that, even if it was just for the meme, is epic.
Yes.
Perfectly styled. Also, Tulsi Gabbard, not that bad looking. Just saying. Anyway. That little weird streak in her hair kind of does something for her, too. She looks really good in white.
Rogue from the X-Men?
Yeah, kind of. If she was brown.
Oh.
I think Tulsi Gabbard's a lion or something. Oh,
Yeah,
she pulls it off well.
Representative for white.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was pretty great. Ballsy as fuck, too. Like, she knows she's not getting the presidency, but she is using her platform to make some serious waves, and she has done a good job, and they have kind of railroaded her, I will admit that. They're also railroading Bernie pretty bad right now.
Well, he's a fucking idiot, so...
True. I do think that he is more honest than most of them, though. He's been consistent in his beliefs. He's dead wrong. He would probably get us all killed faster than a lot of the rest of them. Or at least a shitload of us. But I think Bernie is much more legit than any of the rest of them.
He's a dirty fucking commie, but he's an honest dirty fucking commie.
Yeah. As honest as a dirty fucking comic can be. So the last thing we really have here for this week for political news, I did have one more thing I wanted to bring up that's a little more lighthearted, a little more in our normal sphere, is March for Life was this week. It's approach, if that's not given away. Before this year, although I thought last year it happened, but maybe he just tweeted in support of it last year. Before this year, no president had actually attended the March for Life in its history. Donald Trump not only attended, he spoke for free, as he has been doing his whole presidency, by the way. Also working for free. Also lost like billions of dollars just by becoming president because everybody shit on him and a bunch of people were like, fuck this guy now. But, yeah. I thought it was kind of cool. You know, whether you agree with the position or not, I think if the president agrees with the position, it is cool for him to actually, like, step in and say something in favor of that. And it agrees with my position, so all the more reason I'm happy to see him step in and speak there. And we've talked about abortion before, we're not trying to get into that specifically. But
It's a fucking can of worms.
it is. Generally speaking, don't fucking murder your children.
Yeah.
And yes, I understand that most of the fucking people doing it don't see it that way. Just don't do it. I don't care how you see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that marks the first president in history to do that. Also founder of the Space Force, gotta give him that. They did put out their logo this week, I guess that's some sub-news for you.
So that is going to be like a legit...
Yeah, they put out an
branch.
official logo. The 6th branch of the U.S. military is now the Space Force.
Fucking sweet. Let's capture some aliens. Procreate.
Actually, I did look into that, right? And what they're talking about is space-based warfare. Like, dudes up in space on, say, like a little space station or something, and as it orbits the Earth, they're like, alright, look out below, Russia! Bah! Drop it now! Now!
I guess that's a lot harder to detect than a AC-130.
Probably. Maybe that's what they're doing, I don't know. But that's what they were talking about, was like space-based warfare, shit like that. Maybe it's just satellites that we put into orbit that are charged with attacking shit. We'll have hackers or something. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I think it's pretty cool, though. But, yeah, he went out and gave a speech and actually, you know, spoke out against abortion, which is really ballsy, honestly, for a president in the last... post-Roe v. Wade, really.
Yeah.
Something like 800,000 babies a year are aborted. Some people abort their babies because they find out they are likely to have Down syndrome. Which, sorry to everybody with Down syndrome, but apparently some people would be happier if you were killed in the womb. Apparently, I think your life would have been better. Except, you know, for not happening. But I saw a lot of people, like 6 or 7 people this week, which I guess isn't a lot, but, you know, for enough of them to pop up to where I see them is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, yeah, the doctor thought I might have been born with Down syndrome. Like, there's a really good chance I was going to be born with Down syndrome. I'm perfectly fucking fine. I don't have Down syndrome. I'm a functioning adult, and thank God my mother didn't fucking kill me.
Yeah. My wife's uncle has Down syndrome.
Yeah.
He's cool as hell.
Yeah. A guy we went to school with has a cool older brother that, I don't know if he has Down syndrome, but he's at least, like, legally mentally retarded. He is funny as shit. He has no filter. But, dude, he is hilarious. I haven't seen him in, like, 15 years, but he was a funny guy. If you acknowledged what was going on with him, his brother would get really mad at you. I didn't think it was that big of a deal to acknowledge it, as long as you're not, you know, treating him like shit for it. That's cool. But I understand also kind of being sensitive about it. I haven't had to deal with it personally, but I got a deaf brother and I give him shit all the time, so everybody handles shit differently.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of all we had. There is another cool thing, though. Jack Daniels announced they're releasing an oatmeal stout cask finished version of themselves.
Wow.
So that'll be pretty interesting. I want to try that. It'll be like the Jameson stout, but it'll be a bourbon Tennessee whiskey.
Sounds delicious.
It does. I don't mind Jack anyway. Momo, if you don't get over here, I'm going to crack that bottle. We going to review it? And I'll cap it again. But man, I want to try. Yeah. Got anything else you want to add about what you thought about shit this week?
No? Covered it all.
Cool. We didn't even smoke all the cigar. We don't have to go straight into our next video yet.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's the Dirt Road Men weekly recap. We don't really have a name for this other than we call it the Monday Palaver, but if we're going to start doing it consistently, we thought about doing it as like our own podcast version of things. We've talked about doing this a couple of times. We never really jumped into it, mostly because, to be completely honest, it's probably pretty easy to figure out where we stand on a lot of political shit, so we don't bother to talk about most of it. But you guys watched the shit out of it, and several people were like, hey, you should start doing more of these, so here we fucking are. Please subscribe to our channel and like our shit and watch our videos so we can maybe make a little more money.
Do that.
Mostly, though, buy our products at dirtroadmen.com. We've got a bunch of cool shit there. We've got more cool shit coming. If we can get the fucking whiskey boxes engraved, we'll have a whole new box for you this year. It's not even a whiskey box anymore. It's whiskey and cigars. It's just a badass box. So, yeah. All the promo shit out of the way. Let us know what you thought. If you got a better name for some sort of podcast version of this, tell us. So,
Yeah.
You good?
Yep.
Till we see you again, I'm Zach.
I'm Jake.
Def Seth is here. We are the Dirt Road Men. Hey everybody, if you like this video, hit a like or dislike, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And if you really like what we're doing, check us out over on Facebook where we post every day.